Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Smile Code podcast. I'm Dr. AC Quaidu. Today, I have a story about a fleeting encounter that completely changed the way I see the world. It's a story of mystery, of hope, and the invisible connections we all share. Listen closely because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see the world and the way you live your life. Sometimes the smallest gesture can change everything. But what if that gesture came from someone who wasn't supposed to be there? In this episode, I share the story of a smile that essentially transformed the world of Serena, and the mystery that still lingers. In the heart of a city that never slowed down, where people brushed past each other like shadows, lived Serena. Serena had it all, or so it seemed. A high-powered career, the perfect condo with a view, and an Instagram feed filled with pictures that painted the perfect life. But deep inside, Serena felt lost, like a small ship drifting aimlessly through a fog she couldn't escape. Every day as Serena rushed to catch the train for work, she passed by an old man sitting on a weathered bench on the corner of 5th and Main. He was always there, like a statue, except for his smile. It wasn't the kind of smile that screamed for attention. It was subtle, almost otherworldly, like he knew something about the world that no one else did. Serena, buried in her thoughts, never gave him more than a passing glance. But one day, something shifted. Serena had just left a grueling meeting where her hard work was dismissed, just like that, without a second thought. And she felt invisible, like no one saw her or cared about the effort she put into her life. Feeling really down and out, her usual fast pace slowed to a shuffle as she walked home. When she neared the old man's bench, he was, as always, sitting there, smiling. But this time something made her look up. His smile seemed to pierce through her armor, offering a warmth that made the cold city streets around her fade into the background. And without realizing it, Serena smiled back. It was small at first, just a hesitant curl of the lips. But as soon as she did, something strange happened. For the first time in months, Serena felt seen, like someone had recognized the quiet battle she was fighting beneath her well-crafted exterior. The next morning, she found herself looking forward to that bench. The old man was there, of course, smiling that same serene smile. This time, she offered a fuller smile, and he nodded slightly as if acknowledging something deeper, a connection between them that words couldn't express. Days turned into weeks. And each day, that simple smile became the highlight of Serena's routine. Slowly, she began to notice changes in her own life. At work, she was more patient with her colleagues, more compassionate with herself. She started to feel lighter, as if her daily smile exchange with a stranger was unraveling the knots of stress and isolation that had bound her so tightly and for so long. Her curiosity began to grow. Who was this man? Why did he sit there every day smiling at strangers without asking for anything in return? One morning, she gathered the courage to stop and ask. "Why do you smile at everyone?" Serena asked, sitting down next to him on the old bench. The man didn't answer immediately. He just looked out at the people passing by as if seeing something she couldn't. Then in a voice so soft it was almost a whisper, he said, "I smile because the world needs it." Sometimes, he said, the smallest gestures hold the greatest power. You see, Serena, a smile can save a life, even if you don't realize it. His words struck her like a bell ringing in the distance, resonating with something she didn't fully understand. How on earth did he know her name? Before she could ask, the man continued. Years ago, I sat on this very bench, feeling as lost as you do. Someone smiled at me, and in that moment, I realized I wasn't alone. I was seen. I was saved. Now I pass that gift on, and one day you will too. His words sent a shiver down Serena's spine. She hadn't told him she felt lost. She hadn't told him her name. But before she could respond, a crowd of people passing by momentarily distracted her as she glanced at them. When they cleared and she glanced back, the man was gone. He was gone. The bench was empty, as if he had vanished into thin air. Perplexed, Serena looked around but saw no trace of him anywhere. She asked a nearby vendor if they had seen the man who usually sat on the bench. But the vendor gave her a strange look and said, "I've been here for years and I've never seen anyone sitting there." Her heart raced as she walked away, feeling both unsettled and uplifted. Had she imagined him? Had the old man been real? Or was he something else? A guardian? An angel? A messenger? Or just a figment of her imagination? But one thing was clear. Her life was different. That smile exchange had awakened something deep within her. A realization that small acts of kindness, no matter how fleeting, could alter the course of a person's life, just like that man had done for her. The next morning, Serena walked past the bench. This time she sat down and smiled at the people passing by. Maybe, just maybe, someone needed that smile as much as she had. Now, the moral of the story: we are all connected in ways we cannot see. Sometimes the smallest act, like a smile, can ripple through someone's life and change it forever. We may never know the impact we have on others, but the power of kindness, even in its smallest forms, is immeasurable. It's a reminder that we are never truly alone, even when it feels like we are. Serena's mindset transformation continued, and as her life continued to shift, She remembered a quote that seemed to echo her experience. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it will elude you. But if you turn your attention to other things, or become still in the moment, it will come and sit softly on your shoulder. Serena had spent years chasing happiness, success, and validation, only to find herself more lost and invisible. But in that quiet moment of connection with the mysterious man, it was as though happiness had found her without her even realizing it. It came softly, like a butterfly, resting on her when she wasn't trying so hard to grasp it. As we rush through life, always striving for more, remember, sometimes the things we seek come to us when we stop chasing and allow them to alight upon us, just like that butterfly of happiness. So pause, breathe, and let life find you. In closing, I want you to think about the people you pass by each day, the ones you might never notice. What if you smiled at them? What if your smile could be the light that they need in their darkest moments? If this story touched you, share it. Let's create a chain of smiles, one that connects us all. Send this episode to 3 people who might need a little reminder that they are seen. And don't forget to smile today and always. It might just change everything. See you soon.